Hey guys, so today I am filming my February 2022 nail polish wrap up. So if you guys saw my January video, in these wrap up videos I talk about polishes that I wore in the month, the polishes that I bought, or other like nail products that I bought in the month. I talk about some nail care products that I've been trying throughout the month and also share some of my favorite accounts. So I'm going to start out with the polishes that I wore. I never wear as many polishes as I actually want to have worn in the month, but this color palette is just like, what? How did this happen? So granted, like a lot of these were in a Skittles manicure, but still, it's like all the same color. So the first polish that I wore in the month is China Glaze in a Lily Bit. This is not what this looks like. So this is supposed to be a light purple. I pulled this out of the drawer looking for this color, and then when I was in the middle of putting it on, I Googled it and to see what collection it was from and saw that this is totally not what this looks like. So this is supposed to be a light purple. It is very, very, very faded, and the formula on this was an absolute freaking nightmare. So don't love this, and it's not this color if you buy it new, I assume now anyway. If you can even find it anywhere, I have no idea. So that was one of the polishes that I wore this month. Didn't love that. For Valentine's Day, I did a Skittles manicure with a bunch of different Essie polishes. So all the photos up on the screen, I had Essie Blanc, and I did put like a little rhinestone on top of this one because it just felt like too white. Like I shouldn't have picked that shade and I didn't want to redo it. So I threw a rhinestone on it. I wore Essie Saved by the Bell. There's no reason that these were all Essie polishes except that they were all in the same drawer. I wore Essie, let's try to go in order, All Dolled Up, which I think this is recent, right? This is from their winter collection for 2021. No Shade Here, and Cherry on Top. I picked Cherry on Top because I'm not a huge fan of red polishes, and I just wanted something that was a little bit more pink than red. I just like could not commit to putting red even on one nail. I very, very briefly wore Mooncat Venus Flytrap from the Heavy as the Crown collection. So I was playing around, and I am continuing to play around with dip powder quite a bit right now. I have this dip kit that Double Dip Nails sent to me, and I've tried it a couple times, and it's not my first time trying dip powder, and it was definitely better than my first time trying dip powder, but I still didn't love it. I ended up trying to put a clear dip powder on my nails. Okay, so I gotta back up. I am going through like a full-blown nail identity crisis at the moment. I rounded off my nails one day, decided I was going to try to grow them out, and it lasted like 2 weeks, and I couldn't decide if they looked good or if they looked bad. And then once I filmed with my nails that shape, I was like, okay, I can't live like this. So I don't know what's happening. I just don't want the short squares anymore. I want to grow them out. I know that I can't grow them out square because I'll never get past all the corner breaks, and I'll never, like my corners will never stop curling in because that's just like how my nails are shaped. Hello, potatoes. So I tried growing them out, and I thought maybe if I do like clear dip powder, then I can grow them out and they won't break. And I don't know if it's, I know that my dip powder is probably too thick because I think that's the issue that I'm consistently having with dip powder. But I also, I don't know, I feel like my middle finger, like my nail is super, super wide, and it just looked like, they looked so bulky and so bad with that clear dip powder on them. So I tried painting Venus Flytrap over them, and I could not handle it. I put it on at night. The next morning I like couldn't look at my hands. They looked so bad to me. So I ended up taking like the dip powder and everything else off. So I wore that very briefly, and I'm including it because I don't have a lot of other polishes to show you. After those were off, I still gave my rounded nails, I tried to give them a fair shot, and I wore Essie Gossamer Garments, which is a really, really thin, not thin, sheer pink jelly. And I did really like this. I think this is the color that I liked on the rounded nails the most, but ultimately did end up hacking them all off a couple of days ago. It is what it is. Maybe I'll try again someday. So as far as hauls go, I did mention in my January wrap-up video that I had an order from Rogue Lacquer that I was waiting for, and an order from Fancy Gloss that I was waiting for. So to start out with the Rogue Lacquer order, I will link Rogue Lacquer down below. I've mentioned before that I think they're like one of my favorite indie brands at the moment. So the polishes that I picked up from Rogue Lacquer were Queen of the Nile. This is a green, black, and gold little tiny flaky mix. That's kind of, oh, please, no, 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 no. She can't not put holes in my pants, and this is like one of the only pairs of leggings that I have that she has not decimated, and she just got her claw stuck in them. I picked up Rainbow Road, which I'm looking at the label and says that it was a November 2021 polish pickup, so this must have been an overpour for polish pickup, but this is a rainbow little teeny tiny flaky mix. I picked up Apparition, which is a little teeny tiny silver holographic flaky topper. Holly and Bright, which is a Christmas polish, and it looks like multi-chrome flakies, like gold to green shifting multi-chrome flakies, and then some red, some green. There's a lot going on. It's actually hard to pick out. Some red, some green, and then like maybe some blue. Little tiny flakies in there as well. And I picked up Batsy, which is a little teeny tiny black flaky topper. So it's the same flakies that were in, what were those? I don't remember if there was actually like a name of that collection, but it was the summer collection that Rogue Lacquer did last year, where it was like these slightly pastel neons with little tiny black flakies in it. This is those flakies but in a topper, so I picked that one up as well. So I picked up 3 polishes from Fancy Gloss. I will link them down below. They really got me with these Valentine's Day thermals. I'm not usually a thermal person because they generally don't have a long shelf life, but I also have, I can think of one specifically. I have a thermal polish in my stash that's from Pretty and Polish, which I'm not even sure they're around anymore, and I bought it. I can picture the apartment that I lived in when I got it, and I think it had to have been 2012, Halloween of 2012 or 2011, because I think those were the only years that I lived in that apartment. And it's still like, it still shifts. It's still the right color. So I don't know what makes the difference. But I picked up Stay Away Cupid, which is a black, but it goes to clear when it's warm. Black when it's cold, clear when it's warm. It's a thermal polish. And there are little black hearts in here as well, so it's cool because when it's dark and black, you can't see the hearts, but then when it warms up, they kind of peek out. Really like this. I did a reel on Instagram with this one, which I do sometimes because I'm hip. And then I picked up Love Touch, which is a hot pink to, I think it's white. I haven't swatched it for this video yet. And I haven't worn it since I got it, so I think it's pink to white. I don't remember. And it has little white hearts in it as well. And then I also picked up the Reflective Topper, which is, according to the sticker, just called Reflective Topper. And it's that silver reflective glitter that looks really cool in flash and in certain bright lights, but just in a topper form. I picked up a couple things from Glisten and Glow. I got the top coat. I haven't tried their top coat. I think I actually referred to it as the HK Girl top coat in my nail care routine video. When I went to the website, I don't know how long it's not been called the HK Girl top coat, but it's not anymore. It's just the Glisten and Glow top coat. So I picked that up because I haven't had a bottle of this in a while, and I'm always talking about KB Shimmer Clearly on Top, and I just wanted to see like how this compares, because again, it's been a long time since I've had one. And then while I was there, I picked up their Dry and Prep Dehydrator, because I've always had a problem with my nail polish chipping or cracking really easily when my nails bend, and I wanted to just give a dehydrator a shot. I know some people swear by this as like a prep product before you put anything on your nails and it making your manicure last really long, so I wanted to give it a try. I tried to look online and see if I could find like a drugstore or like a mainstream brand that people talked about. I don't know if all dehydrators are the same, but I was so afraid that I was going to get something specific to like acrylic or gel. I'm kind of assuming they're all the same thing, but just to be safe, I picked this one up from Glisten and Glow because it was like the best advertised as for use with regular polish, and I was already there getting the top coat anyway. I have this Essie. This is like the last polish item, but I'm going to actually save this because I'm going to talk about it a little bit along with my review stuff, so I'm going to kind of like seamlessly transition the haul into the reviews. So I have this. I picked this up. This is a glass cuticle pusher, and I don't even remember where I saw a glass cuticle pusher mentioned. I have never heard of a glass cuticle pusher, which is like, that's just me not paying attention to things. It's actually kind of crusty looking. I've been using this a lot this month. This is from the Trim brand. I got it on Amazon, so I'll link it down below. So it is a glass cuticle pusher. You get your pusher end and then like a pointier end for scraping up like dead cuticle. And it's just like the slightest bit textured, like really, really fine grit sandpaper, slightest bit textured. Now, I have just fairly recently transitioned to a I've just fairly recently transitioned to a metal cuticle pusher, which I do really like, but I still feel like there is the possibility there to do a little bit of damage to my nails if I'm not like at the right angle. I will link a reel down below from Hey Mercedes on Instagram that she just posted fairly recently that talked about how to use a metal, I keep wanting to say medical, a metal cuticle pusher correctly, and it was stuff that I had never heard of, and it kind of like, that's what I was worried about doing. Like the things that she said could happen if you do it wrong is what I was worried about happening. Anyway, so I had picked up this glass one, and it has like that little bit of texture, so it's got a little bit of like scraping, like scrubbing property, but it's definitely not like nail file texture, so it's not going to like really scrape up your nails. This is like, I think I like this better than the glass one. This did a really, really good job at getting like dry, dead cuticle up off of my nails. That's something that I've always struggled with. I've always struggled to get all of that up, and I do use it in conjunction with cuticle remover, but I've always struggled to get all of that up, and the metal cuticle pusher did like kind of step that up and did a much better job. But this one did so much better of a job. Like it seemed so much more efficient. It scraped up the dead cuticle so much better, but was also like so much more gentle. I didn't feel like I was gonna like accidentally scrape up or like gouge my nail like I still kind of feel like with the metal one. So I am sold on this. This is like my absolute favorite cuticle pusher so far that I've ever used. I also really like this pointy end because I can really get down like into my sidewall, and especially like up in these corners where I really get a lot of that dead cuticle, and I can't talk about how great this is enough. I really, really like it. I've been using it all month. I was like sold the first time that I used it, and it has remained as good as it was that first time. So I picked up 2 products from Unicorn Magic Skincare, which I have not tried either of these products yet. I've only opened them up to sniff them. But I have the Deluxe Triple Butter Hand Lotion, and I got that in the scent Apple Maple Bourbon. There are a ton of scents. I'll link this website down below, by the way. But they have a ton of scents, and it was almost like an overwhelming number of scents. So I picked up just a small, this is just like a 1 ounce jar. It's small to try out of the hand cream. And then I also picked up the Deluxe Cuticle Balm in Indian Sandalwood, and this is like a good size of cuticle balm. This is a ½ ounce, but like for just cuticles, it's a lot. And I'm like a woodsy scent person, so I'm really, really liking this one. I have not, again, tried the actual product, but I'm excited to try them. I hear a ton of stuff about that brand, so I really wanted to give them a shot. I will probably be converting over to those for the rest of March here pretty soon, so I can talk about them in my March wrap up. Now the rest of the stuff I'm going to talk about is kind of like I said, we're kind of combining the haul and the reviews. So I picked up this Essie Hard to Resist Nail Strengthener. So yeah, really wanted to try this. Essie has been pushing this really, really hard. They have 2 versions of this. My understanding is that the formula is the same, but the tint is different. They have a purple one that's supposed to like neutralize yellowed nails, and then they have this pink one. I don't have any yellowing in my nails, so I picked the pink one up. I have used this 1 time so far, and I don't love it. So when I use the OPI Nail Envy, I don't notice like a significant improvement in my nails when I don't have the Nail Envy on, but I do like that kind of like little bit stiffer nail that it gives me, so I don't feel like it's likely to break, and I don't feel like they're bending as much either when I wear the Nail Envy. So that's what I like that for. I'm sure if I read the OPI website, they would say something about how it like improves your nails' overall health. I just like how my nails are when I have it on, and I could probably do the same thing with like a ridge filling base coat or something like that. I'll have to play around with that. But so I picked this Essie one up. I'm like, how does this compare? They're pushing this really hard. I don't like it. I've only used it once. I will use it more than just 1 time, but so far, okay, it says you use 2 coats, and I feel like it's too pink. It's just a little too pigmented, because once I had 2 coats on my nails, and maybe that's just because I'm like very, very pale, but I just felt like my nails looked like they were like injured. Like they looked like they hurt, because that pink tone was just like a little too pink. It almost looked like they were like angry and a little inflamed. It wasn't like a natural cute pink tone to me at all. Like I didn't like how it looked. The other thing that I really didn't like about this, and it's something that I've never had happen with the OPI Nail Envy, is that this peeled off of my nails. Like it peeled off like if I were to just put a top coat on, or like a nail polish would, like just peeled off in sheets. I've never had that happen with the Nail Envy at all. And you know, this is meant to just go straight on your bare nail, so I don't really know what was up with that. I will try this some more, because it is a fairly recent purchase, but just from my first impressions, the 1 time that I used it, a couple issues with this. I picked up 2 cuticle roller oils from Shop NBM. I will link them down below. This is another thing I keep seeing everywhere. These are the Cuticle Buddies. So I have not used a ton of this one because I've had it on my end table. And so I generally use other things before bed, so I've only used this a few times, but I've been using this one fairly heavily. So first I want to talk, like, let me just start here. So this one is the grapefruit. Ooh, it's grapefruit and some flower, like peony maybe, I don't remember, but the whole presentation here is kind of a work of art. So they come in this silicone sleeve, which is meant to be like, you know, you can attach it to like your purse strap, or how funny it would be if I walked around with it on my belt loop, or like your keys or something like that. I find that if I'm not using this to like actually suspend the cuticle oil anywhere, it kind of just gets in the way. That's why I had it yanked down like this, because it is a little cumbersome. So I've been more using this without it on here, but I'm also very clumsy, so I feel like I kind of like the added protection of this not just shattering if I drop it. So then you've got this, like, I believe it's bamboo lid, which is really pretty. The roller ball in here is stone. I don't know what stone it is. Let me look it up. Okay, I just went to look up like what stone it is, and literally the first picture on the website is someone with it hanging from their belt loop. So I guess that is a thing. So this one is the grapefruit and geranium, by the way. I thought it was peony. I don't even know what peony smells like. Anyway, so the roller ball is rose quartz, and then there's little rose quartz like stones floating around in it. It's just pretty. Like, I don't think that does anything. Like, I would assume that that doesn't actually do anything, but the whole thing is just pretty. Like, you just want to have a bunch of them because they look so cool. And that is like 100% what drew me in initially, is like I saw so many people talking about them and they looked cool. So this one says that it has geranium and grapefruit oils infused with vitamin E. What else is in here? Jojoba oil, macadamia nut oil, argan oil, sweet almond oil, wheat germ oil, apricot kernel oil, castor oil, and then the geranium and the grapefruit. So I have used this fairly heavily for the last few weeks. Some days I'm like putting it on all day long, and then other days I just forget about it, but for the most part I've been using it a lot. I do like this. It's a good cuticle oil, and I feel like, I mean, with the whole presentation and the fact that like the oil is a good cuticle oil, I'm pretty happy with these so far. I definitely am interested in trying more. They have refills, so you can take this like beautiful little work of art bottle and pop the stopper out and refill it yourself rather than have to buy a new one of these every time. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with this so far. I have no complaints. So this is the vanilla bean and black currant. This has an obsidian roller ball and then little chunks of it floating around in there. This is just scented. This doesn't have like the extra beneficial oils in it like this one did. The pink one was, I should put it back in the sleeve so you guys know what I'm talking about. I believe this one was supposed to be like ultra moisturizing, something like that. There's a few that have different properties and there's a few that are just scented. So I don't know, overall I'm pretty happy with these. Again, I haven't used this one too much, but I've been using this one pretty heavily and I like it a lot. Although I definitely do feel like just the aesthetics of the whole like presentation are definitely playing a role in that. I just like having these around. I like, you know, picking them up and using them, and they're pretty and they're cute, and it doesn't hurt that the oil inside is like a good cuticle oil too. So I'll link that website down below. I'm definitely interested in picking up some more of these. The last thing that I hauled, and then moving into the review this month, is the gloves in a bottle. So I saw Hey Mercedes on Instagram talking about this. This is a hand lotion, but it puts like a film on your hands. It's supposed to protect you from like constantly washing your hands a little bit. I've only used this a few times. I tend to go a little crazy and like deep clean the entire house like one day a week and then don't touch anything the rest of the week. So by the time Sunday rolls back around, like the whole house needs to be done again. That's a really like not efficient way to do it, but that's like where my mind is right now. So I've been using this on the deep house cleaning Sundays. So it says to reapply every 4 hours, which I would say is about right. I'll do downstairs, like I'll put it on, do downstairs, and I'll put it on and do upstairs. Just to try to give myself a little extra protection from like cleaning chemicals and constantly washing my hands and all of that. And I definitely do notice a difference when I use this. I even notice when it like probably should have been reapplied like a few hand washes ago. My skin starts to get that like kind of white cast on it where it's really drying out. The only thing that I found with this is when you're putting it on, I want to like rub and rub and rub and keep rubbing things in, and it will kind of start to like pill up a little bit if you just like rub super vigorously. At some point you kind of have to just like let it soak in and dry the rest of the way. And it does, like, you can feel that there's like a little bit of a barrier on your hands, but it's not like an unpleasant, uncomfortable feeling at all. I'm obviously not in any kind of like position where I'm having to spend all day every day like washing my hands excessively, like a healthcare position or something, but I do really, really like this for my panicked deep cleaning Sundays so far. It has saved me, I think, quite a bit of dry skin. This is also something I'm going to keep using a bit more because I haven't used it a ton. Like I said, I think it's been like 3 Sundays that I've used it now. Those were some of the like nail care and hand care things that I tried out this month. The other thing that I tried out, which wasn't like a newly hauled product, I keep hearing people talk about how they just put like straight up Aquifer on their hands and that it's like amazing and the best thing that they can do for their skin and cuticles. And I'm telling you, it's really good. So what I've been doing is putting like a thick layer of this on at night before I go to bed, and in the morning, oh my gosh, like there's such a huge noticeable difference in the skin on my hands, like more than any lotion that I think I could ever use. I will say I think you have to be pretty diligent about keeping up with this. If you're going to use it, like use it every single night to kind of like maintain the results. But my gosh, this is like very greasy. If you've never seen Aquifer before, it's like a Vaseline kind of texture. So it's like a little unpleasant to sleep with, especially if you have a lot of cats in your bed. You're gonna have some hair on your hands. But my hands were so soft, and like a lot of that like white dry skin that I have been struggling with this winter is gone in the morning. Like it is just really, really nice. And I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. It's like, okay, obviously that would do really good for dry skin, but it's just, I feel like we're so, at least me personally, I guess, I get so stuck on using products that have like very specific use that I'm never thinking of like multi-use products like this being good for like my specific needs, especially when it comes to like hand and nail care. So far I've used quite a bit of this. Granted, this is not like a new tube. I had this in the house for like whatever I would need it for. I just never used it on my hands. So I think this is definitely going to become like a staple of my nighttime hand care routine because I really, really like how this is working so far. So lastly, I have the accounts that I've been really liking lately. I'm still like very into Instagram right now, and I don't know what's happening to me because I really just didn't care that much for Instagram for a very long time. But 2 Instagram accounts that I'm really, really liking. So Sam Rose Nails is one of them. I will put her stuff up here. I told you that I was having like a nail identity crisis, and I tried growing my nails out and like rounding them or making them almond or whatever, and I kind of blame her for this because I love her nails so much. They are like my ultimate goal nails, which I highly doubt that I will ever achieve and might not ever even attempt again, but she's got beautiful nails. Like they're the perfect length, they're the perfect shape. Like I'm just very, very jealous of them. And she does a lot of very, very cool looking nail art. So I really like her account. I will link it down below. The other account is, okay, I keep wanting to call it Cowless Polish, like moo cow, which is totally not what it is, and I'm just not even going to attempt to pronounce it. That's not what the name of the account is. But this came up in my feed. I don't remember, I think I saw someone share it on an Instagram story, and my initial thing that I saw was this photo up here, which is this like unbelievable Queen of Hearts nail art that like you would think is a water decal or like some kind of sticker or something, and it's hand painted, which just absolutely blows my mind. Like actually shocked that this is hand painted. It is so, so detailed and so tiny and so beautiful and so impressive that I wanted to talk about this account here. She does a lot of nail art, a lot of really cool, really detailed, intricate, hand-painted nail art, like super, super impressive stuff. So I will link her account down below as well. So that is my February nail polish wrap up. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will link everything. I'll link everything. I was gonna try to list it all, but I'll just link everything down below. There will probably be, I would assume there will be some affiliate links in there. I know for sure like the Amazon, this trim thing, that's gonna be an affiliate link. I'll annotate them if they're affiliate links. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.